This is a relaxation spa and sauna. Sometimes through these windows we see people, but looks like they're doing a bit of cleaning. They've got the sun loungers up against the glass there. Yeah, sometimes we do see some terrible sights through these windows, believe me. Now over on your left, there's a lovely riverside pub. I'd like to recommend the Anchor pub there with the golden sign. Established in 1615. So there's been a riverside pub here for over 400 years. And the likes of William Shakespeare, Samuel Pepys, Charles Dickens, myself and the captain, just a few of the famous Englishmen to have drank in this pub. It is a lovely riverside pub. And behind the Anchor pub, nearby, is the Borough Market, famous for the fresh food and the flowers. A very famous London market. So this is Southwark Road Bridge. This bridge opened in 1921. So the area on your left is the London Borough of Southwark, so the name Borough Market. This was the very first borough of London to expand from the City of London, which is the area on our right. And over here to your left is where you went for your live entertainment. In the Elizabethan era, this is where they had all the old playhouses. And they've rebuilt one on the left there, the white circular Tudor building with the thatched roof is William Shakespeare's Globe Theatre. Now this reconstruction, or this replica, it was the brainchild or thought up by Sam Wanamaker, the American film producer, and it was constructed in 1997. Now, it is a working replica, meaning inside they reenact all of the old plays, and they're all performed in the periodic fashion. So with no electricity, no stage lighting, no amplification, and it is also open top. It's the only building in London to have a thatched roof since the Great Fire of 1666. And the bridge ahead of us, the Millennium Footbridge, this is one of London's newer crossings, opened by the Queen in the year 2000, shut the very same day by the Metropolitan Police. Now if you can imagine this bridge, where it was swinging from side to side and Londoners were falling over. So they've rectified it now, but it has got the infamous nickname of the Wibbly Wobbly Bridge. And on your left, the building with the large chimney to your left, this was formerly the Bankside Power Station. Today this is famously the largest modern art gallery in the world, the Tate Modern Art Gallery. It's a listed building, which means it can never be demolished, and it's the only building to have been opened twice by Queen Elizabeth II, once as a power station and then again as an art gallery. And on your right you'll see the City of London School, and above the school the magnificent dome of St Paul's Cathedral. Sir Christopher Wren's masterpiece. Now St Paul's, it was completed in 1710. It was the tallest building in London right up until 1962. So before then it was actually illegal to build anything taller. Sir Christopher Wren, the architect, he dedicated 35 years of his life into building St Paul's, and he is buried in there, buried in the crypt alongside Lord Nelson, the Duke of Wellington and Alexander Fleming. They're all buried at the crypt of St Paul's. That is magnificent both inside and out, and if you're feeling energetic, if you go to St Paul's you can actually climb all the way to the top of the dome, 528 steps to the top, breathtaking views from the top quite literally, as there is no lift. And we're just approaching the Blackfriars Railway Bridge. On top of this bridge is Blackfriars Station. You can enter the station from either side of the river, and along the roof here are these solar panels, and they power parts of the station's platform. The area on your right, part of the City of London, is the area of Blackfriars, and a Dominican monastery once stood here, and the monks, they wore black habits. The red columns in between the bridges now, these are what remain, the remnants from the very first railway bridge to cross the river. The St Paul's Railway Bridge, carrying the London, Chatham and Dover railway line. And the Blackfriars Road Bridge was opened in 1869 by Queen Victoria. And sometimes this boat, well, it doesn't fit underneath these bridges. Okay, at the moment we have plenty of clearance, but when the tide rises we lose clearance, and that is part of our discipline Part of our what we have to learn to do this job, to become captains, to get our licence, is we learn all the individual arches of 32 bridges. Over on your right now, you see the building with the sloping roof and the arched windows. This is the old City of London School for Boys. So this is the old location to the City of London School that we passed earlier. And if you look in between the arches, there are 4 figures. Okay, now these statues up to your right, they are of John Milton. So let's go from the left now. You've got John Milton, Sir Francis Bacon, William Shakespeare and Sir Isaac Newton, 4 of this country's leading scholars. Next on your right, the red brick building that looks like a church. This is Sion College and Library, famous for housing a number of rare and religious books. So in there they've got Queen Victoria's personal diary, the first ever Oxford Dictionary and the first ever Bible to be printed into modern English on the William Caxton steam press. And behind these buildings is Fleet Street, where you have the original printing press was founded. Now on your right, you'll see along the river's wall the green moss line, and this is how high the river rises on average. So the tide twice a day comes in on average a height of 7 metres, and it reaches just beneath these lions' heads here. So you can see along the river's wall here the lions' heads. Today these lions, they are entirely decorative. And they were once used as a early flood warning indicator. So years ago the police, they would patrol the embankments, and if one of these lions' heads was covered, then the London Underground system it was at risk of flooding. So when the lions are drinking, London is sinking. So the Victorian police, they used to use these lions. Nowadays we have the Thames Tidal Flood Barrier, which is located behind us further downriver in Woolwich, and that can be closed if necessary. You'll see the tidal gauge here on the right, so just before the archway. Okay, a measuring stick, a ruler. Okay, it goes all the way up to 8 metres. Okay, now we don't see too many 8-metre tides. As I say, we can close the Thames barrier if necessary. This archway to your right, paired with these silver dragons, this is Temple Gates. Okay, this is one of the gateways into the City of London. So any of the main entrances into the capital city, you'll find these silver dragon-like creatures, griffins they're called. So Aldgate, Moorgate, Bishopsgate, Temple Gate, as we're just passing here on your right. So the capital city of London is only the 1 square mile, and it is where the Romans founded Londinium almost 2,000 years ago. Now the black and white ship here on your right, with the big glass roof and the portholes, this is the old St. Catherine. Okay, now believe it or not, this old ship, it used to be the royal barge. If any members of the royal family, if they would travel out here on the Thames, well, this was the ship they'd sail upon. Now, as you can all see, it's certainly seen better days. The royal family today, they have a new boat, the Gloriana, which is beautifully detailed. It was hand-painted or built for the Queen's Diamond Jubilees, beautifully hand-painted in gold leaf. And they just leave that one back there for when Harry and Meghan, for when they come back. So it is the spare boat. On your left, the building with the digital display there, the words going across, that is this country's National Theatre. Now unfortunately the building, it does look like a multi-storey car park, and it does get voted every single year to be the ugliest building on the banks of the river. London's leading architects, they believe that is the ugliest. However, inside you'll find the Cottesloe, the Littleton and the Olivier theatres. So the Olivier Theatre, the 1,400-seater Olivier Theatre, named after the famous actor Laurence Olivier. This is Waterloo Road Bridge now, affectionately known in London as the Ladies' Bridge. It was constructed by a female workforce during